If you are doing breastfeeding and crushing it, give yourself a pat on the back. And if you chose not to breastfeed, give yourself a pat on the back because you're still the best mother for your baby. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gina, and I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. My last video was back in March. I did a St. Patrick's Day themed Oreo ball video. If you haven't seen that, I will link it down below. And now we are on to August, and my baby is almost 4 months old, so it's been a little while. But I'm so glad that you're tuning in this week. I'm going to be talking about lactation cookies. In these last 4 months, I have found the best lactation cookie recipe, in my opinion. They're so tasty and delicious. They're good for you. They have all the key milk-producing ingredients like flax seeds, oatmeal, and I wanted to share them in a video because they are so delicious. It's recommended that you can have about 3 to 5 lactation cookies per day depending on your caloric intake, so just be mindful of that. If you like breastfeeding information videos and lactation cookies, smash that thumbs up below. And if you like more weekly cooking inspiration videos, please consider subscribing to my channel. It's free, and I am going to try and post a video once a week. So, without further ado, let's make some cookies. Here are the ingredients you're going to need to make these cookies, in addition to some water, which I don't have out here. So you're going to need some flaxseed meal, some rolled oats, some coconut oil, some salt, some chocolate chips. I have semi-sweet here. It calls for dark chocolate, so you can use dark chocolate as well. I just had these on hand. Some vanilla extract, some coconut sugar, some baking soda, some ground cinnamon, some brewer's yeast, which this you can easily just get off of Amazon. That's actually where I got this, and it's called It's Just, and basically it's just brewer's yeast. The only ingredient, as you can see listed here, is brewer's yeast. So, and it says non-GMO, so I went with it. You're also going to need some oat flour. But if you can't find it, or you don't want to pay for oat flour, what you can do is just take some of your rolled oats and just blend them up in a blender or food processor, and that's what I've done here actually. So this is what I'm going to use, and it is homemade oat flour. So save you a couple bucks, and if you already have the rolled oats on hand, that's so much easier to use. So here is everything, like I said, minus water. The first thing that we're going to do is preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Take a baking sheet and some parchment paper to a medium bowl. Add a 1/4 cup of our flaxseed meal, 1/2 cup of just plain water. Mix this together to get it all incorporated. Just want to let this sit for 5 minutes, and this is going to make a flax egg. So we're not going to be using an egg in this recipe, and this is the substitution for it. In the meantime, I'm going to add 1/3 cup of coconut oil to a microwave safe bowl and microwave it until it's melted. This is our flax egg. You can see it's been actually probably over 5 minutes, but it doesn't hurt to leave it any longer. And now we are going to add some other ingredients to make this batter. To our flax egg, we're going to add 1 cup of coconut sugar, coconut oil, and some vanilla extract. And when I can't open my vanilla extract, I use this little helper that my mother made. And when that doesn't work, you ask your husband. My husband to the rescue. So we have opened up the vanilla extract. And we want a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Whisk all of this together. Mix all that till it's well combined. Cup and 2/3 of oat flour. 1, 2, 3/4 of a cup of just rolled oats. If you don't want to use brewer's yeast, you can use a 1/2 cup of shredded unsweetened coconut, or just add a 1/4 of a cup more of your oat flour. 1/4 cup of brewer's yeast, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now comes the fun part. We're going to add in our chocolate chips. So we've got 1/3, 2/3, and I don't really worry if I get a few extra in there. Not a big deal. Mix this into your batter as well. Now we're going to take our baking sheet, which we put parchment paper on earlier, and we're just going to put the dough right on. You want them about 2 inches apart. And I like to kind of flatten them out so they're not as thick. Bake these in our preheated 350-degree oven for 10 to 13 minutes until the edges are just slightly golden brown. Also, I wanted to point out a fun fact. Because this recipe does not have egg in it, you can totally just, sample a little bit of the batter as the other batch is in the oven. Just an FYI. Although be careful, because then you won't end up with your 20 cookies, like I'm probably not going to be. Whoops. These just came out of the oven. They were in for about a little over 10 minutes. And we're just gonna let them cool for 10 to 15 minutes. And then we will transfer them to a wire rack to continue cooling. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope this gave you some good motivation to make some lactation cookies, or to send it to a partner or spouse to have them make some for you. Hint, hint. My husband actually made this for me a couple times when I was breastfeeding, and they were so delicious. I was like, I have to make a video about this. I also wanted to say that, honestly, fed is best. I know there's a lot of pressure on women to breastfeed, and it really is a lot on women. They say it's a 35-hour per week activity, which is basically a full-time job. So if you are doing breastfeeding and crushing it, give yourself a pat on the back. And if you chose not to breastfeed, give yourself a pat on the back, because you're still the best mother for your baby. So I just really want to stress that formula-fed babies, as long as they're loved, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what they're eating. Before you know it, they're going to be on solid food, and it won't even matter. So give yourself some grace, and whatever you're doing, whether you're pumping, breastfeeding, bottle feeding, you are the best mother for your baby. And that's all you need to worry about. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that thumbs up below, and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I will see you next week. Have a great one.